Jared here, and I'm talking to you about something called labor shortage in oil and gas. So what does that mean? It means there's going to be 80,000 jobs at the beginning of this year that are going to be filled for projects at the end of the fiscal year of 2015. And on top of that, there's going to be 875,000 jobs that are going to need to be filled within 10 years. So why should I even care about these jobs that need to be filled? Imagine this, that you can make 30% more of what you're already making to go ahead and get into the oil and gas market. And you can do that within 30 days or less because there's so much demand for job growth. And there's also other perks and benefits that go along with it. Some of the best health care that you can have for you and your family. You also get to travel the world from a global scale. And 3, it's supposed to be the highest demanding jobs within all the industries within the world. Meaning that you can actually go ahead and safe position yourself within this lustrous industry, and you can stay within this segment and vertical of this industry for a long time because your skills are so valuable. Now, where do we go from here, Jared? Why should I even talk to you about this oil and gas job? Why can't I just go ahead and go onto the internet and apply online? The thing about online boards is that you're basically going to get on some of these job boards. You're going to fill something out and type it out. And then you're going to send your attached resume on top of that. The problem with that is that a lot of these companies get thousands upon thousands upon thousands of resumes every single day. Meaning that on top of all the work and value that you already provide, you're not going to go ahead and get your foot in the door because you're not separating yourself away from the pack. So how do we go ahead and move forward? Well, if we go ahead and you go through oil growth, you'll actually have a more streamlined process to go ahead and get your foot in the door. We will go ahead and use some valuable tools, valuable questions, valuable answers to those questions to go ahead and pique the interest psychologically within that decision maker's head so that you'll be put in a different platform than the rest. So what does that mean essentially? Meaning I'm going to give you the tools to go ahead and get you the job that you deserve within a certain X amount of dollars on top of what you're already earning to increase your value from a monetary standpoint, while at the same time giving you a job really, really quickly in less than 30 days. And then on top of that, have you positioned to stay in a job security environment, which is oil and gas, because of how much demand for the middle class has been going. Look, we're going to go look at 3 things. They're going to be Great Crew Change, Generation X, and we're also going to look at the middle class. Now, the Great Crew Change. What is that, Jared? So the Great Crew Change is going to be the baby boomers. Anyone that's born from 1950 to 1965, generally speaking, have been working at oil and gas as a roughneck out in a rig ever since they pretty much were wearing diapers. Now, on top of that, they're actually going ahead and retire because they're reaching the age where they can't be doing some of the stuff they can't be doing anymore, which is going out in the field or walking the office, just because they're getting older and their need to retire and exit the industry. On top of that, you're going to have the Gen Xers. Between 1985 and between 1999, you're going to have a period of time there where no one entered the oil and gas market as a Gen Xer, because there was a huge financial crisis in Texas and no one wanted to get into it. It was too unsafe at the time because the price of the oil was so low and that the demand was just not there. So, moving into the middle class. There's a huge gap now in middle class. Because the Gen Y and the millennials, they've been actually doing a lot more office work, more of the Silicon Valley style of where they go ahead and work with computers and technology, then less out into the field as some of the middle class workers have been doing. So what is that actually shown on a graph? So that's actually going to show 2 things. It's going to be more of a gap in the middle class and more of a gap in the income, but it's going to be in a good way. So this huge supply of demand for these workers, which is going to be increasing pay because they need the quality people out there to do the projects necessary to complete them for their budgets. So Jared, I don't know that much about oil and gas. I don't know anything about it. I come from an automotive industry. I come from an electrical industry. Don't worry about it. What I want you to do is, do you have a can-do attitude? Do you want to get in this industry? Do you want to learn about pipeline? Do you want to learn about E&P, which is operations on the rig? Or do you want to go ahead and worry about the refinery on the plant side of things? It's all up to you. What I want you to do is I want you to go to your refrigerator. I want you to go ahead and get your favorite beverage. I then want you to go to your couch, sit down, and I want you to write these 6 things down. 1, do some exercise. It'll open up your mind. It'll clear your head. It actually will make you think better throughout the day. Number 2, find a mentor. Find someone that you feel like you can learn from, because if you surround yourself with people who actually are more experienced and more wise, you can go ahead and hone and harness your craft in a way that actually shows through a lot of trial and error from their past mistakes to make you better at what you're going to be doing. Number 3, take a communications class. I can't stress this enough, guys. If you want to delegate and get your point across to people and have influence over others, you're going to have to take some type of public speaking class, or some type of communications class to show and convey what you're trying to get someone to do for you, or say it in a way that actually can influence and spark interest within others. Also, number 4, I want you to go ahead and get involved with some type of nonprofit organization. This could be animal dog daycare. This could be a religious activity. It could be a CrossFit box. Any one of the above. And I can't stress this enough as well. Meetups.com as well as Hangouts provide a lot of different areas where you can go ahead and hang out with the many different people who you think you can have an influence on. This will spark some type of interest of thinking outside the box a bit, which can be helpful for your job process, as well as meet people in and outside the industry who you can go ahead and tap out more of who you are as a person, which can make you evolve better to become more of a better professional, because there's so many different layers to what you're trying to accomplish in life, and these will actually express it in more of a way that will actually make you better and more of an in-tune person, which will make you better at your job because you're so confident within yourself. Number 5, read a motivational book. Jobs are stressful, life is stressful, careers are stressful, not only for personally, emotionally, financially, but also just stressful just from the actual day-to-day in, out of waking up, going to work, and the stresses of going through the motions. You may need to have some type of motivational book to let you know what the end result is. And once you know your end goal, that always keep you focused on the actual prize at the end of the extensive labor that you're doing. And my last is very important, tap into your creativity. What I mean by this is, if there's some type of hobby that you had before you got married or had kids, or something you haven't practiced in a while, please put away at least an hour a day, 30 minutes a day, to do some research on it. Practice it during the weekend when you have some time, because if you tap into that creative side, it'll open different neurons within your brain to actually express different ways of you thinking, which can then enhance your life and also make you have a better career, because you're thinking outside the box, which will then make you a much more valuable person in the job and outside the job, and you'll also be happier. So without further ado, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to go ahead and put my link in the bio, www.oilgrowth.com. Also shoot me an email. It's going to be at jared@oilgrowth.com. And I hope this helps, and I'll see you next time.